चलने से पहले मैंने उड़ना सीखा है। चलने से पहले मैंने उड़ना सीखा है, सपने मैंने खुली आंखों से देखे। संग हो जाओ तुम भी, मिल जाएंगे पंख तुम्हारे सपनों को भी। जी हाँ, नमस्कार दोस्तों। फिर हाजिर हूं इस बार उड़ान के साथ। उड़ान, गिविंग विंग्स टू योर ड्रीम्स। ऐसे बच्चे जिन्होंने चलने से पहले उड़ना सीख लिया। ये मुलाकातें जो हम करने जा रहे हैं, all these talks which I'm going to do are with children, child prodigies who are doing so amazingly well in their life and have become an inspiration to many of us. So let us meet a few of them through this podcast. See you every week in this podcast. And I hope your children, or probably you yourself, if you are a youth, will be inspired by these children. नमस्कार दोस्तों, फिर हाजिर हूँ एक नए एपिसोड ऑफ उड़ान के साथ। गिविंग विंग्स टू योर ड्रीम्स, दैट इज उड़ान। And for that, today we have in our show Anshvi. Welcome, Anshvi.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anshvi is a published author. Yes, at this young age, she's already a published author, and she's also a mental health advocate. Isn't that amazing? Yes, we will get to know more stories from her regarding all of this. But before that, I will request Anshvi to please introduce yourself.
Thank you, ma'am, for this opportunity. Hello, everyone. My name is Anshvi. I am a 17-year-old 12th grade student pursuing humanities at Mukandlal Public School, Yamunanagar. Alongside my academic pursuits, I am a published author of the book Growing Through the Waves of Life, Rewrite Your Story, where I share insights on mental health. As a passionate mental health advocate, I strive to create awareness and promote well being. Moreover, I express my thoughts and experiences through blogging, aiming to connect with people and inspire others on a deeper level. Additionally, my active involvement in Model United Nations conferences allows me to engage in critical global issues, foster diplomatic skills, and uphold the importance of international cooperation. Thank you.
Wonderful. That's a very big introduction, so to say. No, for a young girl, I'm really applauding her that she has done so much at such a young age, and she can continue to do so much more because she has all the potential that she can really go and inspire so many young and older people too. So then how did all this happen? Now, when did this all start and why did it all start? What was the inspiration behind coming to this kind of a field, which is a mental health field, and at young age, where children are themselves going through all of this, she is the one who is helping them to come out of. So where did the inspiration come from, Anshvi?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, my inspiration stems from my younger self, who struggled with stepping out of her comfort zone and facing change. And it all happened when did I started attending all these things and doing all these works. It was because of my teachers and my parents. It is through the unwavering support of my parents and loved ones and also my teachers. So one day randomly in 10th class, my teacher asked me to join one district level Model United Nations conference. And I don't know why, what came into my mind, and I said yes. I eagerly said yes, and I took that risk to attend that one conference in which I literally interacted with thousands of people with no chance of interaction, and just being in my comfort zone, I was not even talking to anybody in my class also. So that was one stepping risk that I took, that literally got me, um, to like that inspired me to just keep on going on. So like I would recommend, and I would say that to the girl I was once hesitant and fearful of the unknown, I commend everybody to take risks as much as they can and embrace growth, because it took me so much of time to get here, and still I have so much to do. And all this mental health, like my mental advocacy came up from because when I used to struggle so much, I had like even though I have had people whom I can share something, but like there was something in my mind, so much of fearful and like so much of like cowardness in my mind that I was not even able to share anything to my parents also. So that was a like a really lonely period in my life. So when I used to take seminars in my school, I used to see that there are so many juniors who are literally so happy, but they have something inside of them which they cannot share. So
Absolutely.
that is actually my motivation. That is actually my inspiration that helps me keep me going. And my parents, who were like always there with me, and their unwavering trust and encouragement, whereas my teachers who exposed me to new challenges, to new activities, opportunities, and to my loved ones who actually always truly believed in me and never doubted me, and like they
Yeah.
always remind me that I am enough and they're proud of myself. So yes,
Wonderful.
their belief in me serves as a constant reminder that I must continue and I should never stop.
Wonderful, wonderful. That is so wonderful. So, the best part of what she spoke, which is about her support and everything, but the first thing which she spoke about was the inspiration came from her own younger self. So, she's not getting inspired by anybody outside of herself. She is getting inspired by her own inner self, and that is also the younger self. She's young already, she's not very old, but the very little child probably in her, which she got inspired because that child was not probably able to speak much, not express much, not share much. But here she is today, she's able to really go all out to share as well as to help others share. So that is how she has now taken a chair which is on the other side of the table. She was here, she was seeking help, and now she is the one who is giving help. So that is a big, big transformation I can see in Anshvi. And that is why she is becoming a kind of a transformational in force in her own school, in her own society. And as she grows up, always it is going to spread more. So that's really commendable, Anshvi, that you are doing so much. And I would like to ask you, because you are still studying, that is what you told, you are in school. And how are you able to balance out your curricular activities, your academics? Why, how are you able to, like, you are writing. So writing doesn't happen in a day. No, you need to give some time. You have to invest so much of time when you have to write a book, and there you are a published author already. So how did you get the time? How are you balancing all of this?
Yes, ma'am. This is actually the most asked question to me, because all these activities actually I started doing when I was in 11th grade. So
Hmm.
the most high school senior classes. So yes, balancing academics with social activities can be a bit challenging, but it's definitely possible with some planning and prioritization. So what I do is that I set priorities. What
Hmm.
I'd recommend, like I say that identify my academic and social priorities. Like
Hmm.
I determine which tasks are more important and allocate those tasks accordingly.
Hmm.
This actually helps me so much to focus on what truly matters in each area. So I'd give an example. When I was writing a book, so when I had my final exams of my 11th grade, that was the peak period which like I used to spend all of my time to my book. That was my peak period where I used to get so many ideas for my book. So that was literally very challenging, because what I used to do was that I used to give 5 hours to my studies and 8 hours to my book. So that won't help. That didn't used to help much. So what I started doing was I used to set priorities, and I used to create a schedule for that. So doing this particular task for an MUN or an NGO in this particular time, then studies and practices of my athletics and everything else. So what are you how my schedule was in a school, like right now also, because I have to take care of my physical health also, I have to
Yeah.
take care of my mental health also. So what I do was that I get up early at 4 or 5, and then I do meditation. And what actually, there's a thing in me that I cannot study late at night. i
Hmm.
I am like only able to study early morning. So if I have to if I have any test or something, or some basic revision also, I do it early in the morning, and then I go to my school. I, as a head girl also at my school, I have a lot of responsibilities in my school also. So I also collect all that work, and if possible I get it done in my school only. But if not, then I set all that work accordingly in my schedule whenever I'm free and whenever I'm getting time. And when I come back from my school, what I do is that I give when eating lunch, I set all my priorities of MUNs, of NGOs, and of my all of my studies. Like this work needs to be done in this time, and during those 2 hours I get some rest, and I plan accordingly. I plan a schedule, and at 4 to 5 I go to my tuitions. I study there, and from 5 to 6:30 I focus on my physical health. I go to my school for athletics practice, and after that I come back and get all that extracurriculars work done. And
Hmm.
then I that's not much of that work. Like it do not takes me 3 to 4 hours, but rather it takes me it does take me that much of time, but not that much of time. So it's possible to get some time for my studies, like 2 to 3 hours for my studies. So what
Hmm.
I do is that after getting free from this work, I have my dinner, and then I focus on my studies, like whole 2 to 3 hours to my studies only, like no distractions and nothing. So yes, creating a schedule, planner, or a calendar to map out all my academic commitments, my classes, my study sessions, and all of my activities and events, that actually helped so much. And one of the most important thing that I've learned in all these 2 years is that time management is really important. And the most important thing is that limit distractions and take care of my own self, because
Yeah.
self is that one thing that helps so much. Because if I'm not only doing good at my mental health, then I'm not even going to focus on my studies as well as in my on my other activities also. So these things actually help happens to me, like in this June also only. What happened with me, that I was actually completely distracted, and what I used to do was I used to watch movies, and I used to just get on my phone, and then
Yes.
just
Yes.
yes,
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it is the social media which is the greatest distractor
yes,
for the children, because you find that pleasure. You post something, you get the reward in likes and shares and all of that, and that is a vicious circle we all get caught into. Not even children, even adults also, I'm seeing they also get caught into this vicious circle of this posting, coming the likes, again sharing, posting, and this is how it goes on. And the time just flies when you are on that scrolling spree. The time just flies, and that is what Anshvi is maintaining, that she is keeping a distance from the social media. She is in 12th class, which is a very crucial year for her otherwise also. But last year also, when she was in 11th and she was able to write her book at that time, when, because writing a book, anything, when you're writing, a creative person does not have to be, cannot be bound, because ideas can come anytime, anywhere, and you cannot see that no, this is my specified time, my idea has to come only in this time. That doesn't happen for a creative person, because I write myself, I can understand that it will come anytime. The poem, anything will come anytime, it will come, and you just have to jot it down, otherwise it just vanishes from your mind then. So it is very important that we have scheduled our thing. And very beautifully, I'm absolutely resonating with her because I'm also an early morning person and I have never studied in the nights. As a child, I used to study early morning. And yeah, I probably told you in the intro that I was also the head girl of my school. And it was very, very important that we schedule everything and keep, and we have to have, because there is a kind of a, people look up to you. Children look up to you as you are a head of the school in those terms of the children. And if you are failing yourself, then how can you will be a representative of the students where you are? So you have to keep yourself physically, mentally, socially aware and fit all the time. So I completely agree with whatever you have said about the balancing act, and a wonderful job on that part. So, Anshvi, let us go forward from here and understand that it looks as a smooth, because you schedule everything and your parents are supportive and everything is going so nicely, and probably it is a cakewalk, but I'm sure it is not a cakewalk. And you would have faced a lot of challenges when you were writing the book also, and dealing with mental health with other children. The trust, will they trust me or not? Like, I am younger, and how will anybody else also trust me with whatever I have to say? So what are the challenges that you have faced up till now?
um, Lots of negative comments. Like everybody, even some of so many, like my loved ones, my close ones used to say me that Anshvi, you are going to fail in your life. Even I still remember near when my pre-boards result of 10th class got out, and my father actually went to one of my teacher, and she actually said that, sir, trust me, but Anshvi is going to be a failure in her life. So that was a really like turning point in my life. And even though there was I was like really depressed at the time, I actually went to a like really zoned out place. But there's some kind of thing in me that if somebody actually tells me to do something, like they actually when they talk negatively to me or they talk negatively about me, something in me rises up and I have to do something. Then my father actually didn't tell me anything. He was like that, I can't hurt her. But my mother actually told me that this thing happened there, and like he was not quite happy because that's such a big thing to actually.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's such a big thing to actually tell to my parents. And I'm so close to my father. And when I heard that she actually told my father about this, I was completely shattered. So
Mm.
these kind of things have came a lot, like a lot. So when I was even writing a book, there were so many comments about people like, you're not going to make it, how will you do it, and like so many continuous things that people say. So, and not even, ma'am, not even from strangers. I
Mm.
used to get these kind of comments from strangers, but also from the people that are close to me. So that's
Yes,
when people are like how some people used to tell me that ignore them, but there's a particular time when these kind of things starts to hit you. So you can't,
actually.
yes, so you can't, like you can't ignore them. So
Mm.
that's the kind of things that when I used to start writing, and like I used to remember all these things that were said to me that I'm not going to make it. Or even though, ma'am, when my book got published, I used to hear that you've copied your book from AI. Even though what I did was, my publisher actually is a like certified publisher and an international publisher. So he completely straight on my face said me that if I found any of the line from AI, I'll completely reject your book. And I was so
Correct.
that because I knew that I'm not writing my book from AI. I'm just
Yeah.
like, even at 3 a.m. when the ideas came up to me, I started writing. So
Mm.
that was the thing that completely hits me. Like these were the challenges, and so many negative comments from people leaving me because they were like, there was like, people don't believe me when I say this, but my friends, some of my friends actually left me when they saw me growing, you can say. They actually
Mm.
when I published my book, or when I became a part of my council member in my school, they actually left me, and I
Mm.
didn't know the reason. Like, people used to talk so much about me at their backs to their other friends. So that was a like really turning point, because even though I used to try ignoring them, but at some points, being an emotional person, I was not able to ignore them. My parents also used to say me that ignore them, that doesn't matter, but that actually matters to me a lot. Because, and what I used to do was that I struggled with self-worth, or like, I used to struggle with self-worth from like a long time. So what I
Mm.
used to do was I started focusing on self-care. I
Yes.
started things that were important to self-love and self-care. So that
Mm.
actually made up build my confidence to um, go through all these comments and just start focusing on my work. So there was
Absolutely. Wonderful. So wonderful. We have to actually replace negative talks, that stories which are going around, which people are telling. We have to create a new story,
yes,
the story which we have to tell us. There are so many people always telling so many things about us, and the world is like that. Whatever you do, they will have a comment for that, good or bad. No, you do good, they have a comment. If you do bad, they have a comment. So best is to have your own story to tell yourself than to listen to all of these stories. That way we are knowing that I know what I am not defined by anybody, what people are saying around me, but I define my own self.
yes,
And that is what you have done, Anshvi. You have written your own story. You have written your own uh, way of life. Actually, I must say, you have carved your own way of life with your own belief system, with your own confidence, and I must really applaud you for that.
thank you so much.
Yes. And you have told me that just now, that there are so many things that people have told you, and those became a challenging point. But then I always believe that when we fall down, that is the time we can stand up with our own hands by pushing that floor itself, which had helped us to fall down.
Yes,
So we stand up more and we bounce back better always. Yeah. So you have already told so many things about a few here and there, but any particular incident and a memory which is about your own work, not about the negative things in your life, but about the positive thing. Any good memory about your work which you have done?
yes, ma'am. One good memory about my work is definitely publishing my own book. Even though it's a big achievement, but it became more big when because of the day it was. So what happened, ma'am? I'm a big devotee of Lord Shiva, and what happened was that I was so eager to publish this book. And on 8th, when it was Mahashivratri this year, what happened was I prayed to Lord Shiva, and I actually prayed to him that for my success, for my book, that it like actually publishes successfully. So on that day only, what happened was that I was sleeping, and when I woke up, I got 4 to 5 mails from my publisher, and one of those mails were on 8th of uh, on 8th of March only, on Mahashivratri, that my book has published. So
Wow.
that was one of my core memory, that I prayed on that day, and my book got published on Mahashivratri only. So
Wow.
that is like one of my core memory that I always cherish, and I like is always in my heart, that like there's some kind of connection I can see between me and Shivji, that
Yeah.
I actually prayed for that, and that actually got published within that day only. So that is
Right.
actually one of
Yeah.
my memories from my work.
Wonderful. And any other where you would have taken a seminar and how was the response? Any
Yes,
memory of that?
yes. So last year only, when I took one seminar in my school for on mental health awareness only. So the first day I was like very nervous, and like very nervous because it was my first seminar. But on the second day, even though my performance was good, according to me it was good, but like I was yes, struggling with self worth. I didn't find it that much good. So after my seminar got over, the whole 10 days after, it was filled with calls from parents of the students that you've helped my student, and lots of comments and lots of like things that my juniors said to me, that you've helped us and
Hmm.
we have changed after talking to you. And there were few juniors who actually told me that um, they actually told me that Didi, we've changed. Since then we've talked to you, we've completely changed it. We've completely changed our personality, our nature, and our schedule. Everything is changed to such a positive manner after talking to you. That's one of
Amazing.
my core memory, and that also include that um, there's a teacher that helped me reshape me, because what during my 10th boards only, she actually was, because I used to fail in science and maths pre-boards. So she actually used to scold me so much. And even though I respect her so much, but she used to actually tell me that I'm not doing good. What will I do in my future? And like basically questioning my future and questioning
Yeah.
myself. So that used to hurt me. But then I remember that she was actually doing it for my good. When I
Yeah.
was actually talking to my father regarding this, that she told you that I am going to fail in my life, but she actually gave me a motivation to actually
Yeah.
start from somewhere, and like I can do it. So
Ab-
praise, I just like appreciate the teacher so much too. Like she actually told me so much. And even though it was she used to tell me negatively, but that was kind of positively, that affected me positive.
Beautiful, beautiful. That is how Anshvi is. No, Anshvi is so positive about everything that she is able to change whatever the poison was in her life into medicine. That is a very beautiful thing to do, Anshvi. That positivity is what is actually going through you to people, and that is why they are getting healed from inside. Because it is most important to get that healing inside. Because outside you can take a lot of medicines for all the ailments that you have, mental or physical, but the actual healing has to go from inside, and that has to come from a person who has that kind of a
Yes,
heart, which Anshvi already has, a compassionate and a very big heart that she has. And that is why she's able to do this kind of work which she's doing in a more wonderful way that she's doing. So I really appreciate, Anshvi, what you are doing with children and with your own people around you, and you're helping them, because mental health is like a pandemic today, and this is the pandemic which we have to fight on our own. No, we have to help each other fight this, and you are one of the soldiers who is doing that with lot of grit and determination in your field. So any last message for the children, or anything else you would like to share, or we have done? One thing I just forgot. You were talking about athletics, and I remember you had one story about athletics too. Let us hear that also.
all right. That's actually the most fun part of my story. So
Yeah.
being a really conservative girl, I used to do not participate in any of the activity, and I was literally so scared of athletics, of sports and everything. Even though, ma'am, there, like I was so much amazed, and I was so much like I really wanted to take part in any of the sports, but I was really scared. So last year only, when I got in my in council in my school, so what happened was that there was a race. There was like selection for the races, but I was like that I have to take part. So there's a senior in my school. I actually call him my, like he's more than my real brother to me. So
Mhm.
he actually, I was like I didn't won in my basketball competition. So like it was an inter-house competition, so we didn't won in that competition. So he actually motivated me to practice more and to get into athletics. So I was just so much amazed from his stories, his own stories, So when he actually motivated me, I started practicing for athletics. So there were so many people around me during that evening time. It was my friends and so many athletes that were around me. So there was like a really positive aura around me. So that actually motivated me to do. So one day only, even though I was scared, I actually took a risk again and said that I have to take part in 400 meters race. So from there, I started my athletics journey. All thanks to my that one brother who's my senior, who actually motivated me to take part, and all those people around me, all those athletes friends who actually pushed me, like who was like, oh, they were like always, they all like pushed me through my limits and always like motivated me to get out of my comfort zone and just to push out of my limits and take part in everything I can.
Absolutely, absolutely. And she really, really is doing so well in her this field of athletics also. And she's become a kind of a motivation for that also. So really wonderful journey, Anshvi, and that you've shared with us. And I'm sure children who will be listening to this will understand that the limit does not exist and they can just move on. We have to really push ourselves, not wait for anybody else to push, but push your own self also and come out of your comfort zone. So, a lot of good insights Anshvi has shared with us, but still, I would like her to share one last message to the children here.
Yes, ma'am. So one last message that I'd always tell to anybody is to actually never ever stop.
Mm.
And the first thing I'd say is to start taking risks. To start,
Mm.
like, because that only one risk your heart is saying that is good for you, that is not harming others, but is good for you and is going to get you somewhere. Because you have to start from somewhere to get to a particular place. So
Mm.
yes, to start taking risks. And because there are moments when your heart says yes to so many things, and just if, like, I'd say that if it's making you happy
Mm.
and if it's not harming others or hurting others, then just go for it. And if it's like it, because at the end your happiness truly matters and your kindness truly matters, just be kind to everybody, be kind to yourself especially, and just take risks and just go for it. Because you actually, like, we are just, it is enough, more than enough to ourselves, and it doesn't matter what people say about us. Because
Absolutely.
in the end it's always us, and it's always, it is going to, like, we are only the ones who are going to stay with us forever. So
Correct.
we just have to make ourselves happy, we have to stay kind to others, stay kind to ourselves, and just go for it. The all the things, all we have to grasp opportunities and take risks that allow us get out of our comfort zone.
Beautiful. Wonderfully said. Wonderfully said. Brilliant. So what Anshvi has just now said makes a lot of sense that you have to take risks. But a very important point which she has mentioned is that it should not be harming anybody else. So you don't have to just do a rash drive on the street because you want to take a risk because Anshvi told you. But she added that it should not harm anybody. So that is the full sentence. Please remember that. Don't take it half. I always tell people that we sometimes listen what we have to listen, but we have to listen what the other person has said. So take it fully. Take risk in your life, but important is it should not be harming anybody else. It can be for your own growth, coming out of your comfort zone. So thank you, Anshvi. It was really wonderful hearing all your insights, and I really appreciate your parents for giving you such values that you are able to really, really help so many people around you. And all the best for your future endeavors also. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you so much.